I've been researching success and failure for many years, and they are two sides of the same coin. And what I've found is that there's one fundamental difference that separates the top 1%, the people who are able to think of a particular reality that they want and literally materialize it in just a couple of years, reaching fulfillment, enjoyment, maximum pleasure in life, to those who are forced down the path that's been written for them by the socially conditioned narrative, those that are forced to be another cog in someone else's machine, who tend to become miserable and kind of depressed about lives. So it's a simple perspective shift to you in this video. What is up, guys? My name is Isaac, and I help people live and die well through first mastering their mind. Now, there is a very popular quote that's often attributed to Albert Einstein, although he probably didn't say it, like most things that are attributed to him. Regardless, it's a good quote, and it goes like this: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. See, most people understand this quote at its most basic level. If they were to go to a lake and try to catch some fish and they weren't biting, and let's say they return to that lake the next day, same story. The next day, same story. Most people wouldn't return the fourth day. They'll go find another lake because there's sufficient evidence to show that there's no fish in this lake, unless they were insane. Yet so many people don't take this idea to the next level and use the fact that there's been billions of people on planet Earth over the span of your lifetime and billions of people before your lifetime, many of them with the same motives, many of them that wanted happiness, many of them that wanted fulfillment, pleasure, abundance, prosperity, good social circle, good health, all these things that everybody wanted, and they failed. Billions of people that went into the socially conditioned script, this whole idea of studying for a particular degree that you're not really interested in and join the 9 to 5 and working until 65 and retiring. So many people have done that and are miserable. And yet so many people still go down that same path thinking that they're going to be the outlier, that they're going to do something different. As a human, you don't have to experience everything to know the outcome. You don't have to jump into a volcano to know that you're going to be crispy bacon by the end of it. We have a collective pool of wisdom, but most people don't access it. They don't look at their neighbor, they don't look at their cousin, they don't look at their parents, they don't look at anyone to learn from them. But there's a reason for that, and all has to do with something called a time horizon. So for me to explain what time horizon is, I have to tell you a story about a particular homeless man that I used to know many years ago. And this guy would beg for money in Sydney at the city. Like, he was at the center of the city, he would always be there and he would always beg for money. And he had a particular way of begging for money that made him a lot of money, right? So every single day he was making about $20 to $40 because people felt sorry for him. And he would take that money and he would go straight to McDonald's, get himself a Big Mac meal, a large drink, fries, and eat it. And he wouldn't be done with the McDonald's. He'll go next door, buy some cigarettes, smoke. He'll find a place to sleep, and repeat the same thing the next day. I understand that many homeless people suffer from mental illnesses. I understand that many homeless people are addicted to drugs, but Tom did not have any of these issues. All he had was a faulty mindset, a really bad time horizon. What do I mean by time horizon? Tom could only look a couple of minutes into his future, perhaps a couple of hours, maybe a day at the most. His main concerns were, what am I eating tonight? Where am I getting my water? Where am I sleeping? So it was a really short time horizon. If he expanded his time horizon, a lot more opportunities would have come his way. Now, there's many videos of people being dropped in like New York City or Los Angeles with $1 and flipping, buying items, selling them at a higher price, doing all sorts of different little hustles over the course of a week and making $1,000 or more. So he could have done it, but he didn't have the perspective to look that far ahead. He was only looking for the essentials. Tom could have got the $40, maybe got a smaller meal at McDonald's, saved some of that money over the course of a week, He'd have had enough to buy himself some nice clothes and to be able to go to the library, use the internet cafe, apply for a job, or perhaps even get one of these jobs where he moves furniture for people or purchase something on Facebook Marketplace and flip it and sell it for a higher price. He could have done all these different hustles and went up the ladder and got himself out of that situation. Many people have done it before. Many people have gone from homeless to millionaire. Some people have actually gone from homeless to billionaire. John Paul DeJoria actually became a billionaire. He was homeless. He's the co-founder of the Paul Mitchelson hair product brand.
Well, being homeless sucks, okay? I mean, you're looking for a place to, and especially with a child, it's just not a good thing. And then to get money, I went into vacant lots picking up Coke bottles and soda pops, 7-Up bottles, root beer, anything. Grocery stores and liquor stores would give you 2 cents for a little one, 5 cents for a big one. And that's how we started getting money to live and eat.
So it's possible, but it's not possible with that short time horizon. You need to broaden it up a little bit. Now, many people will look at someone like Tom and be like, I'm not like him. He's very short-sighted, myopic. He's not looking too far ahead, but they're doing the exact same thing. Their time horizons may be 1 year, 2 years at most. You go to school, you graduate, and the first thing you think of is, okay, what do I do now? What degree do I study? The first thing that comes up in your mind that sounds good, you go for that without too much research. You study for that for a couple years, then you finish, okay, crap, I need a job now. The first job that looks okay, you go for that. You stay there for many years and you complain about where you're at and how you're not advancing and how things are not changing. So most people don't really have that long of a time horizon. They're only looking at 1 year, 2 years, and they're only looking at the solutions that have been presented to them by mainstream society, by the socially conditioned narrative. Now, the top 1% think differently. They think in terms of decades. They think 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. And they also think in terms of context. What is going on right now in my country? What is the geopolitical condition of the world? What is the economic condition of the world? What new technologies are coming up? What's going to become redundant? They're thinking in terms of these things. Where are my skill sets right now, and what do I need to develop to ascend to a higher level? What's going to be important tomorrow? What's not going to be important tomorrow? These are the variables they entertain when they look at their lives. And as you entertain these variables, you gain a bigger perspective, you see more options, and you can make better decisions for realizing all these goals. And that's how you create the life you want. You see, one of my goals right now is to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 7 years. Most people would set that goal for maybe 1 year or 2. I set that goal for 5 years because I have a long time horizon. I can do this all day, baby. I can make these videos. So it doesn't matter if it takes 5 years, it doesn't matter if it takes 10 years, I'm getting to that goal. Now, if it happens in less than 5 years, cool. I'm cool with that. We can set another goal. If it takes longer than 5 years, that's all right too. So this is the type of perspective you need. You need to be willing to put in the time and give yourself a lot of time to achieve these things. It's called having a low time preference. It's called delaying gratification. We've seen time and time again that people that have a high time preference and need something right now, people that need instant gratification tend to be less successful. They become like Tom. There's many studies that have been done. One of the most popular ones is the marshmallow test, and I've actually done a video on that you can check out here. So you need that time perspective, that long one. You need that time to think about your decisions before you make them if you want to create the absolute best reality for yourself. The ironic thing is, a lot of people spend a lot of time thinking about things that don't matter. They spend many hours deciding what clothes to wear before going out. They spend many hours figuring out what to watch on Netflix, checking out IMDb, seeing which one has the highest rating, which show. Many hours looking at what game to buy next. Should I buy Cyberpunk or Fortnite? Watching video after video after video, reviews on YouTube. People spend many hours on dumb shit. The things that matter, if they should get married or not, who they should get married to, what city should they live in, should they buy a house, should they rent an apartment, what career path are they going to take, what skill sets do they need, should they even go into the corporate world or should they start their own business, what foods am I going to put into my body, who am I going to associate with. All these things that are significant and really determine the quality of your life, most people don't think about. They just take what's around them and accept it. They have that short time horizon, that high time preference. So that is the perspective shift I want you to make. Stop thinking in terms of 1 year, 2 years, think in terms of 5 years, 10 years. You might not have done anything now, but it's never too late to change. Once you start doing that, you're going to ascend to the top 1%. You're going to become a lot more like Elon Musk or people that actually make a difference in the world. Joe Rogans, these types of people that are creating immense value. They think in terms of years. Do this and I promise you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.